We have again conducted a draw to select the order. And the next team to come, their technology is called Bike Safe Barriers with SuperNet technology. Bike Safe Barriers for the judges. Thank you.
Welcome. I'm Ron Hoover. I'm the video production person and product promotion for Bike Safe Barriers. Welcome. Thank you all for coming. I appreciate the opportunity to present our patented product, Bike Safe Barriers. Okay, I'm a motorcyclist myself, so I'm very enthusiastic about this program. Okay, it's going to be a little bit redundant because in education, we teach that we want to repeat, duplicate, and be redundant a little bit. But it's okay because I looked up redundant in the dictionary and it said see redundant. Okay, I have a little bit of a video warning here. Okay, it's a little graphic. But we want to point out the best product in the market right now, which is going to be Bike Safe Barriers, and point out the problems of the other road barrier systems and the advantages of ours. Bike Safe Barriers with SuperNet, invented by NASA, is a new patented road barrier system which stops a motor vehicle going 80 miles per hour in just 8 feet. The problem with America's current road barrier systems is design failure or complete lack of road barriers. Current wire, beam, and concrete barriers do not adequately protect the human body from injury and death. Wire guardrails fail, beam guardrails fail, concrete barriers are just too rigid. Plastic barriers too weak. Current road barrier design flaws are of particular concern to motorcycle riders, as wire and beam guardrail barriers cause loss of limb and life due to their design flaws. This problem cost the United States $16 billion in unnecessary injury and loss of life. Okay, you see that we have a problem in Florida, as actually we ranked third in motorcycle deaths. We ranked second in motorcycle deaths, third in motor vehicle deaths. We spend $396 million, that was in 2008, that was on initial hospital costs for motorcycle crashes. So it's a big problem in the state of Florida. It's a big problem in the United States. We spent $16 billion on deaths and injuries in the United States. So not only is it a problem in Florida, United States, it's actually a global problem as well. Okay, our solution is SuperNet. It's safe for motorcycles. SuperNet will stop a motor vehicle in going 80 miles an hour in just 8 feet. Okay, that's our superior product. Okay, the problem with current road barriers, for example, wire, guardrail, concrete, they all have problems, and we solve those problems with Bike Safe Barriers. Some of the problems, as you can imagine, if you hit a motorcycle going 50 miles an hour into one of those wire guardrail barriers, you're going to have a tough time squeezing through there, and obviously that one's going to smash you. So we want to use Bike Safe Barriers and promote better safety for motorcycle riders. Okay, so we look at wire barriers and the pricing of wire barriers. $30 a linear foot, guardrail $65. We are at $65 as SuperNet, which is about in the middle, concrete at $100. Okay, why is our product superior? Again, it stops a motor vehicle going 80 miles an hour in just 8 feet. Not only is it very strong, stronger than steel and concrete, but it's very flexible too, and that's why you can make a net and mesh out of it. Okay, here's our product. Basically what you do is you have a barrier, it's filled with our mesh net, anchored to the ground. When a motor vehicle hits it, smashes the front plastic, gets caught in the net. Catches it, decelerates it, okay? Again, an object hits the barrier, smashes the plastic, it decelerates mesh net, brings you to a safe stop, okay? So it decreases injuries and death. Okay, why is our product superior? Because it's safer, less expensive, therefore it's more affordable, it's more appealing, good curb appeal, looks good, lighter weight, therefore it can be shipped. You can't ship the concrete barriers. Okay, size of the market, huge. Just to give you a perspective, road barriers at 8 billion, candy at 7 billion, solar energy at 11. So it's a huge market. All right, our typical customer profile. We're going to go with federal, state, local government, okay? We're going to go with DOT, Florida DOT, US DOT. But just here in Volusia County, in our municipal, we have 45 current projects that require road barriers. Okay, and you can see those, we mapped them out a little bit for you. So you can see the opportunity nationwide. This is just a small sample of our market. Okay, here's our sales projections. We need to start up with 170,000. That is going to go to prototype development, technical testing and certification, and 125,000 to set up the building and so forth. You can see we'll be profitable second and third years. Okay, in addition to sales and service, we're going to work with motorcycle associations to improve safety regulations. What we're going to do is push, lobby, or otherwise encourage our legislature to improve regulations for road barriers, particularly for motorcyclists, so we have better, safe road barriers nationwide. Okay, the experience of our team, as you can see, we have 375 years of experience in some of the needed areas. I must admit we're not there, so we are going to have to hire some PRN people to supplement our manpower and skill requirements. Okay, again, I'm going to give you a quick warning, but this is pretty much our summary. In summary, SuperNet is the solution to the worldwide road barrier problem and is visually appealing due to the unique plastic outer design. SuperNet was invented by NASA, patented, and is called Bike Safe Barriers, which incorporates SuperNet technology. This proven technology solves a global problem. SuperNet is stronger than steel, yet flexible and safely decelerates a motor vehicle going 80 miles per hour in just 8 feet. Therefore, it safely prevents serious injury and death. So unless you are Superman, you need bike safe barriers with SuperNet. The world needs SuperNet. We want and appreciate your financial support of SuperNet. And yes, that was my voiceover on there, and some people say I have a radio voice like Wolfman Jack, and the problem is they say I have a radio face too. Okay, so let's get to the bottom line. You know, we're asking for $250,000 for a 40% stake. This is the best project today in the business, so we hope you will work with us. And again, this is our team. We'd like to thank you. I would like to thank my mentor, Ron. Super Ron did a fantastic job. Our team did a great job. So now we can take questions if you like.
I have a question.
Yes.
It appeared to me that you were talking about motorcycles and not cars, because you're talking about motorcycles, although you showed a couple of cars. How does this work for cars?
It works just fine. That's why most of the demonstrations actually showed a car. It was actually tested with a car, but what we wanted to present was our niche in motorcycles, just so we would get that support. But yes, it does work for cars.
Okay, who would be the person who would be responsible for selling this to your customers, your latest customers? Who would do that?
I'm gonna ask my team members, my experts over there to.
Do I have to do anything to this?
Turn it on.
Turn it on.
Thank you. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
You gotta flip this. I didn't have mine on. Turn this, please.
Hello?
Goes on. Our initial approach to selling this is going to be with a small sales team, people that have already worked with government, specifically DOT projects. We'll have 3 regions across the country. They will be both, have salary and commission. And basically just a standard rollout, working with government contractors. Every roadway project requires barrier, either while it's being done, the temporary barriers that you always see, and then many of them also require, of course, the barrier after the fact. So that's, people will be going after.
Do you have any statistics on the life span of this product? Does it deteriorate in the sun, for example, compared to concrete or wire?
Basically, if there was, can you hear me? If there was ever an impact, it would have to be replaced, not the whole unit, just the mesh itself. And as far as the life expectancy, the nylon, the material that we're using in this product, would fare probably for a decade or more.
I have a question. I've been looking your business plan, but I didn't see any cost of good. Do you have?
Yeah, it was $65 a linear foot for SuperNet versus other products, which concrete was $100, wire was $30, guardrail was $65, so right in the middle is price.
So what would be the return of investment for any county or state? Do you know?
I'll refer to my experts.
And we should be standing, I'm sorry. Basically, an average small roadway project is about $1 to $2 million. The roadway barrier portion of that typically runs about $100,000 to $200,000. So that's the piece that we would be looking at. It all depends on obviously how much distance you're covering. And at $65 a linear foot plus installation. Go ahead.
I have a couple quick questions. So, so you're, just to clarify, so you're really targeting new construction, Vice coming in and saying we're gonna replace what's already out there?
Now we're looking to replace what's already out there. 50% of all fatal accidents in the US are excursions. They're off the road, they're off the highway. And the objective would be to replace barriers. Just yesterday, I had a doctor's appointment, Lake Mary came by. On I-4, Air One landed, and there was a motorcyclist. Hit a barrier, the center barrier, and he was taken to the trauma center. It's a very common problem. It happens. This will stop vehicles as well, maybe not a tractor trailer at this point, but it's to maybe lobby the legislatures, change some of the regulations, make the highways safer for everybody. Particularly, we're targeting bikers, but it will encompass vehicles as well.
Okay, then that's kind of my follow-up then, is what's the incentive, I guess, for the agencies? Is there something more monetary? I mean, we all want, safety, but, there's a pretty significant cost if you're gonna replace existing as opposed to just putting in. Is there legislation out there? Are there incentives from the state, those kind of things?
Yes, there actually are a number of studies that have been conducted already or are in process around the motorcycle aspect of this specifically. But the reality is that concrete barriers are just as dangerous to motor vehicles in many cases. So there's already legislation being thought about, changes to state and local, state and federal legislation. We intend to just help push that along more specifically. But motorcycle safety right now is a very big topic.
So the return of investment for any county or state would be the reduction of deaths.
It would be the
That
reduction of,
it's not a tangible monetary value, but it will be the lives of people.
it's lives and reduction in injury as well.
Okay, we're done, we're done.
Real
It's after
quick,
5 minutes.
Also,
I
get
gotta cut you
reduction
off.
in property
Good,
damage.
thank you for
Thank
your
you.
opportunity, thank you for this opportunity, and thanks, hope to get your support. Thank you.
Thank you for jumping in, but we want to keep it at 5 minutes. I think my master partner Lou has the next team ready to go. And so without further ado, I'll consult my list of candidly selected team order of go. The next team will be Digital Touch. Digital Touch judges.
afternoon. My name is Danielle Anderson, and I am the Chief Technology Officer for Digital Touch Dynamics. We are a graphical user interface team that provides technology and software for people who have disabilities. We are a certified women-owned business. We are an S Corp, and our female management team owns 80% of our company. We have 20% in investment opportunities, which we'll talk about later. Our chairman of the board is Mark Andrews, our mentor. So let's talk a little bit about the dynamic GUI. What it does is it addresses physical challenges of mobility and hand dysfunction in patients who are disabled. And the way we solve that problem is by using the dynamic GUI. Our software provides an ability for them to be able to do things that they can't do on a normal basis once they've been disabled. For example, it would be being able to use your telephone, being able to answer emails, things like that that you do every day and you take for granted. It provides more independence not only for them, but for their caregivers who take care of them on a daily basis. As you can see, this is a picture of arthritis. These are just one of the 5 main things that we deal with. Nearly half of Americans age 65 are disabled. The market itself is a $110 billion market. And we hope to make lives a lot easier. We deal with people who have tremors, who have Parkinson's disease, arthritis, spinal cord injury, and also general ADL issues. This is mainly our target market in the beginning will be for home healthcare individuals. We are trying to keep people in their homes longer and prolong the need to go into nursing homes and assisted living facilities. The interesting thing about our project is that the projector and the camera form a little kit, and this kit will be able to read. If you take your hand and put it on your table, just put your hand on your table and press on your fingernail. Now what it does is it reads the change in your fingernail bed, and then it moves forward from there, and it causes an action to happen on one of these machines that is wired for the event. So that'll help them to answer their phone, change their channel, change the fan on their house, the setting in their room. It's very important for them. As far as the market, the people that we compete against, there really isn't anything out here. We are disruptive technology. We have the clapper, which is very simple, clap on, clap off. And then there's the Cellulon Epic, which is known as the Magic Cube. What that does and how it's different from our product is that it projects a keyboard onto the surface, and it's like a keyboard on your computer. Ours has many different functions because it actually controls items in your home. The Smart Wheelchair and the Brain Gate are not yet approved, but we are very competitive as far as pricing. We sell the kit for $1,000 per unit. We expect to launch it in the summer of 2015. We also know that our technology has many other applications, and we're going to move into the gaming and also the wheelchair replacement. Further down the line in 2019, we'll be able to work with the aerospace industry. Our target customers, as you can see, we have 3M Healthcare, St. Jude's Medical, and Stryker. And then the gaming people we are going to have as our customers will be the Nintendo, Xbox, those guys who are major distributors. Later on, when we work with our aerospace partners, they're going to be NASA and Boeing. So what we laid out here is our commercialization, and we expect to go ahead and we have a prototype right now at University of South Florida. And we're going to take that and move it forward. We'll have our first application ready by March of 2014. And we expect to be certified shortly thereafter, and we will bring it to market release in the summer of 2015. We came up with this timeline according to the inventor. We were able to speak with him, and he kind of gave us some guidelines as far as the development of the product. For marketing, we've already started that. We currently have a website, we have social media available, and we're running a blog which is getting page hits every day. After that, we're going to move forward into traditional marketing, which will be March of 2014, and we'll blitz, and then we'll hit the market when we do our main release to market on the 15th in July of 2015. Now, every investor wants to know, when am I going to get my money back? So what we have here is we expect to break even 2015. And then we will have positive cash flow by 2016. And as you can see, for the first, in 2014, we have 0 in sales, then we go up to 3.3 million, we move up to 10 million, 15, and then 20 million progressively. And you want to know where your investment goes, because we're going to need a little bit of cash to get started. We actually need $1.6 million to get started. We're going to break it down, 650 the first year in 2014, 650 the second year. And the money goes for this development of the software, the traditional marketing, and also operating capital that we need on a daily basis. And this is why we do it.
But as far as the progression, it'll start, you know, getting in my legs and my walk and my posture. And my face still, my face moves a lot still, or, yeah, still. So they just increase the medicine as the symptoms get worse.
And are there any activities that you have trouble with on a daily basis?
Mostly just computer stuff and little buttons, you know, like getting a key in the keyhole, stuff like that, little things.
So if you had the ability to just put your finger on your door and it would open for you instead of having to use a key, would that be helpful?
Yes. Matter of fact, when I got my car, I asked them to do a keyless entry because, you know, sometimes it doesn't, but other times it does, and it's embarrassing too.
So what we're asking you to do is to help us address the 3 main issues. And those are the fact that many people with disabilities get progressively worse, the fact that they have an extreme amount of trouble with daily living functions, and the fact that we would like to help them restore their dignity. We think it's very important to do those things. So we're asking for your help and let the sun set on the disabilities. We thank Mark for everything that he's done for us, and we have a great team. Thank you.
What would you do to accelerate your timeline, and what would you need to achieve that?
Our timeline actually is a little bit extended. The certification of the product with the wheelchair is going to take longer, simply because it's a safety issue. But the prototype that's initially ready, the University of South Florida already has an application that's ready to go for smartphones. They're in the patent process on it right now, so we think that it could actually be much quicker.
I have a question. I think you showed that you're gonna get to $15 or $16 million in sales.
Mhm.
How many units would you have to sell in that last year to get $15 million in sales?
We based it on the 20,000 sales per year, of units per year, starting in 2015.
Okay, so is there a rental fee or is this an outright sale?
You actually purchase a kit, and what you'll do is you'll install it in your home, and they're mobile. But we put it on a small device, and you can program it for each room in your home. You can have one in the kitchen, one in the living room, one in the bedroom, so that you're sitting in your chair and you just put your fingertip on there, and you can control your television or any item that you like.
I saw something that said $1,000. So is it $1,000 per unit or
It
per
is.
station?
It's per unit, per kit.
So if you had 5 stations, does it sell $1,000?
Yes, sir.
How much equity are you looking for?
We're looking for 20% investment. We need
$1.6 million.
1.6 million, yes, ma'am.
Okay, 20% equity.
We're offering that to our investors at 20% of our company. Yes, sir.
Have you checked to see if it qualifies for Medicare, Medicaid, and all of the usual health insurance avenues?
We looked into that. That's why it's further down the road though, because the wheelchair replacement is really meant for Medicaid, Medicare patients. So because of all the testing through the FDA, that's why it's in the hopper longer towards the end of our product line. We have talked to a number of healthcare professionals about this, we've talked to a number of patients who would be the end user about the technology, and they're all very excited about it.
We've got one more presentation to go, and then we're going to have a nice break. We're a little bit ahead on time. If you've been watching in your program, you probably know, which is always nice when you're putting on something like this to be a little ahead of time instead of behind. The fourth team that will present is ready backstage, and the product is called Bridge Save Incorporated. So without further ado, here they come, and they promise to talk louder.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Bridge Save. Over the next several minutes, it'll be my privilege to share with you one of the most exciting and unique opportunities that I've seen in several years. I'm George Pahakis. I am Vice President of Marketing and Franchise Development at Bridge Save. Before we get started, I have a question I'd like to ask each of you. Would you allocate 10% of your annual budget if it could improve the remaining 90% of your business tenfold? Please consider that. Bridge Save utilizes developed and patented technology from the University of South Florida. It is comprised of an accelerometer, transmitter, modem, several other components. An illustration here. It utilizes a proprietary software dashboard in conjunction with the product to deliver motion of structures in real time. Several weeks ago, it was late June, we had the privilege to interview Mr. Ron Mead, who is the Chief Structural Engineer, and you'll see a clip of him shortly. He shared with us several things about the state of the current bridges in our area. First and foremost, he shared that there's a real need for bridge safe. There are over 600,000 bridges in the United States. 150,000 of these have been deemed structurally deficient. In this area alone, Florida, there are 11,000 bridges. 40% have reached a maturity of 40 years or older. When we engaged with Mr. Mead, we came back and we saw the huge opportunity for a business. The 6 members of my team with Kai committed $50,000 to start a business. In addition to the $50,000 outlay, the 6 members have committed the next 5 years to work at a greatly reduced salary to get this and implement this company. We are looking today for $1 million. It would purchase 30% of Bridge Save. Mr. Piazza.
Right, we've had other bridges where we've tried to discover, but for some reason, the pile over time is just settled. It's moved. And we've had a bridge like that we put a lot of work and thought in. If that technology was out there, instead of doing a lot of what we would have done, maybe we would just put it on there. I would say most of our bridges were built in the early 60s when the interstate really started booming. I've got all the dates, but I would say maybe 40 or 50% of our bridges are 40 years or older, or halfway into their life. Now, years ago when they built these bridges, they didn't have a 75-year design life. It's kind of unsure what they were. They never anticipated the traffic that we're getting today in bridges that were designed in the 50s. They didn't think we were going to get this. We're budgeted on like a 5-year work program, and we get a certain amount of money. Our district gets around $8-9 million a year to maintain those 1,000 bridges. And through Chris's guys who go out and inspect the bridges, and then he brings it back in, we review the reports, and we put together, where we need to spend that money on those bridges. We plan. We've got another pot of money, and what happens is when a bridge falls below a certain rating, and there's this fancy rating system called the National Bridge Inventory Rating, and it's from 9 to 1. 9 is like brand new. 1 is like near collapse or collapse. But as soon as an element, a part of a bridge goes below a 5, it falls below a 5, then it becomes in what we consider, is that poor condition, Chris?
Yeah, 4 is a 4.
4 is a poor, and that's the trigger. When a bridge goes below that, then it becomes what we call structurally deficient, and that means that we have to get off of our tails and do something. We have to get it fixed or replaced in 6 years.
What I'd like to share with you is that he answered 4 important questions. First, he has identified who our target market client is. Second, he shared with you the need for BridgeSave's technology. Third, he shared with you the ability to pay. He gets $9 million a year budgeted to take care of these bridges in his area. He has 1,000. There are a total of 8 districts in the state of Florida. The fourth thing, and most importantly, I hope you heard him say that he would utilize BridgeSave's product if it were available. Currently, what they're doing is visually looking at bridges. This would give him on any device at any time the movement of his weakest bridges. Our product and service monitor bridges on a 24/7 basis in real time. Again, the illustration of our product, the features, benefits, extended benefit, positively impacting bridge longevity. Competitive landscape. All of the fragmented companies that are in this industry are targeting the new construction of bridges. We will be the only entity of its type that's looking to monitor structurally deficient bridges. Currently, in the state of Florida, that tally set 4,611 bridges. Eventually, we will expand and franchise other states. The team is committed, as I shared, 5 years, $50,000. Why are they committed? What is it that they see that they like so much? You know, I've always been fascinated by companies that can find ways to create residual income. ADT is a great example. They virtually give away the security system in exchange for 3 years of monitoring. Love that concept. That is what we are duplicating. BridgeSave intends to waive the cost to the DOT for our product, for the installation of the product, in exchange for a 5-year monitoring contract. Each bridge is $200 per month to be monitored, and there'll be 4,611 of them. The game plan is the first 2 years, we will take District 5's 400 bridges and install and monitor. The next 3 years, we will complete the entire state of Florida's, at which point we will be monitoring 4,611 bridges. In addition, we will have begun our franchising to other states, initially at a cost of $500,000. Eventually, they will cost $1 million each. We will also get the residual income of 7.5% of their gross monitoring fees. The thing that is most exciting is this company will have a $9 million net profit, gross profit, I'm sorry, the net profit is $6 million after tax in year 5. We break even in month 30. From there, you can see how the sales and the profit go straight up. One slide, thank you. Again, we're committed. We're looking for $1 million. It will purchase 30%. We can have it from one investor, no more than 6. We are ready to make this a reality, ladies and gentlemen. We need your help. But more than your capital, we are looking for people that can help us open doors in other states, to new franchisees, to other Department of Transportation, people that can complement our talent. Thank you very much. While you're taking out your checkbooks, we'll answer any questions.
Are there any questions?
Any questions from the judges?
I have a question.
You got a microphone right in front of you, please.
Okay. Who's your competition?
Can you speak a little louder? Ask the question again.
Who is your competition?
Currently, we have no competition. The people that are in the industry, sir, currently are trying to get new construction of bridges. We don't have one out there that are monitoring on a 24/7 basis.
So suppose that the DOT said, well, we want to take all the bridges that are 15 years and younger out of the mix, and that cuts you maybe, I don't know, half or whatever it is. How does that affect your model?
Well, so we're only targeting the bridges. These figures were only for the bridges that were 40 years of age or older.
4,710 or 40 years of age and older?
4611, yes,
Okay,
sir.
I didn't realize that.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that
So,
answers the
so
question.
the point being is, we believe that's conservative. They may, the question is, they may want us to monitor those that are 30 years and older.
Okay, that's fine.
Any other questions? Where's the checks?
That was a good question, but they're supposed to be the ones asking. Any other questions from the judges? No, okay. Okay, we're gonna take a little break. We had scheduled a break, and we are quite ahead. And so. As I said, we had 4 before the break. We've got 5 more to go. And then there'll be another generous break as we tally the scores. Another wonderful time for everyone to interact, and we'll be able to announce our winners. So with that, let's move on. The next team that has been selected, the technology is called Syntech Diagnostics. Syntech.
Good afternoon. Imagine being in the dark about the possibility that you may have skin cancer. On July the 23rd, I went to my dermatologist for a checkup. Previous visits had been uneventful and quick. But on this particular occasion, he noticed a growth on the back of my right calf. And I watched in disbelief as he performed a shave biopsy, took the growth, put it in a receptacle, sent it off to the lab for analysis. But that was just the beginning of the ordeal. I was told that over the next several days I could expect drainage, soreness, bleeding, and to watch for the possibility of an infection. And then I waited, and I waited 7 long days for the results of my biopsy. And studies show that it's just as stressful and anxious to be left waiting for these results as it is to be told that you have cancer at that moment. Now, fortunately for me, my results were benign. But ladies and gentlemen, the days of waiting in the dark are over. Imagine a fluorescence-based device able to quickly and painlessly diagnose cancer. My name is Lee Earls, and it's my privilege to present to you Syntech Diagnostics. And let's see how this works. The oscilloscope provides an immediate cancer diagnosis of tumors and growth. It uses a series of 2 different steps. Number 1, a laser to excite the cells of the growth, and secondly, the fluorescence illuminates those areas so that you can make a quick determination whether the cells are malignant or benign. So the oscilloscope will eliminate biopsies, reduce all this anxiety, pain, chance for infection. The oscilloscope is truly a solution to a growing problem. Overall costs of cancer in 2008 were over $200 billion. And this antiquated diagnosis market is over $42 billion and growing 11% each year. Early detection saves lives, and this is very compatible with the Affordable Health Care Act. The Ascendoscope streamlines the diagnosis process. As we discovered, in the current process, it's very slow, painful, and stressful. But the Ascendoscope eliminates two of those steps, the biopsy. We're going to change this paradigm of routine biopsies and do this in two different phases. In the first phase, it will be a cancer screening device for oral and skin care. So it will reduce biopsies. We will be able to sustain growth, profitable growth over the first 2 years. FDA approval Class 1 and Class 2 is expected in the first 90 days. In phase 2, it eliminates almost all biopsies. It has a very broad diagnostic application. We expect that FDA approval for this new class will appear in year 2 for the beginning of year 3, phase 2. In our market assessment, we determined that medical devices were growing 7% annually, and that Census Bureau estimates that cancer imaging series have grown over 26% in the last 5 years. There were over 6 million biopsies performed last year. Now, our true competitor is the traditional but antiquated biopsy. But there are a few other devices in the market which have inadequacies, and only the Ascendoscope delivers the features, advantages, and benefits that healthcare professionals and patients alike desire. And it's priced slightly below 2 other devices that are currently being used by dermatologists. In our business model, we're going to use Ocean Optics, a Florida-based company, and a leader in laser technology and solutions. Our distribution will be handled by Welch Allen, established in 1915 and who introduced the first illuminating handheld device. Global Sources will be our exporter for markets outside the United States. It's with great pride that I present our management team, Hannah, who could not be with us today, Mike, Charlene, and Janice. Proven success and accomplishments in the fields of sales, marketing, finance, healthcare services, and community outreach. And we feel an important part of the commercialization process is an advisory board made of trusted and respected individuals already in the field. Our developed milestones are spread over 3 years in 2 capital phases. In the first 3 months, we expect FDA approval. In the first 6 months, we will be in the design and assembly phase and in the skin and oral market development. In the market development process, we learned that dermatologists told us that patients would like the Ascendoscope screening process over the biopsy. Therefore, it provides us a revenue stream to dermatologists and good patient care. Our phase 1 capital is $2.7 million. And in this, we will be able to have a full rollout of skin and oral cancer care diagnosis. And in addition, we will be in FDA approval process Class 3 for the next phase of our process. In phase 2, $1.1 million of outside investment will allow us to roll out an expanded diagnostics and in addition allow us to launch into our international markets. And here's the great part. The profitability curve rises from the depths of negativity to $2.3 million by the end of year 3. As you can see in this slide, we have a high margin, high profitability product. We have color-coded each of our 3 years for the financial benchmarks. And our revenue is expected to grow 50% in year 2 over year 1, and 20% in year 3 over year 2. But notice how there is a margin that we sustain on the cost of the products, high margin. We implemented most of our market research and program management costs into the first year so that after the 3 years, the total expenses could remain relatively stable. Thus, the net profit of $2.3 million in the final year, the 3rd year. So in conclusion, what's the opportunity? The opportunity, reduce biopsies. And the Ascendoscope and Syntec Technologies seeks to be the premier provider of non-invasive cancer devices. Streamline this lengthy process and participate in this very profitable $42 billion business. We ask for your participation so that we may continue to make cancer survival rate increase. Thank you very much.
How much equity are you looking for? Equity?
We're looking for 2.7 million and then 1.1 for a total of 3.8
And
of
how-
outside investment.
Yeah, how much equity are you willing to do?
30%.
30%?
Question,
Yes, sir.
what's the accuracy ratio between the biopsy and this system?
In the pilot stage of the program, the accuracy is 98 to 99%.
Versus?
Biopsies are about the same.
You have a really compelling value proposition for this product.
Thank you, sir.
You mentioned 3 months for approval on the FDA.
Yes, sir.
That's the 510, those 510K, those are for similar products. So
Mhm.
does this qualify then under that category? But even 3 months is pretty aggressive.
Yes, because we are working with Ocean Optics, and as you mentioned, some of those other products are similar, and this is why we feel like we're going to be able to get this approval in the first 3 to 4 month period.
It looked like Vivacam was probably your primary competitor.
Yes.
And then, only the difference was maybe the percentage of accuracy.
Correct.
Slightly, and then the cost.
And the portability as well.
Or was portability as well?
Yes.
How much of the market, what's the market share, I guess, that Vivacam already has? Is there a percentage? I mean, I'm just curious.
Okay. How much did you say it was? Oh, okay. We're not sure. We think that they have about a 10% market share in that part of it, but we are also in skin and oral, whereas they're primarily in skin. Yes. Yes, sir.
On the Welch Allen relationship, is
Yes.
there an alternative to that in case that doesn't work right?
We have not explored that particular relationship yet, but I'm sure we could. But we've had conversations, and we see a great relationship with Welch Allen. And again, they're an industry leader. They're already supplying doctors, dermatologists, and hospitals.
Have you done, or somebody have done tests? And
Yes.
see if this is accurate?
Yes, there have been some testing going on with this product.
Do you know the average, how many people have they tested and how many people were accurate diagnosis with this problem?
I don't think we have all those numbers. What I do want to say is that the average biopsy is between 500 and 1,000, and the Ascendoscope is going to be a much less expensive screening process. Okay? Hey, thank you very much.
Stage, and that is CathTech Solutions. C-A-T-H like catheter, CathTech Solutions, judges.
Good afternoon. My name is Kyle Stokel, and I'm excited to present how CAPTEC Solutions will change the lives of breast cancer patients. Now, everybody in this room knows somebody, whether it's a family member, a close friend, or a coworker that has dealt with breast cancer. So let's put ourselves in their shoes for a moment. Does this look comfortable to anybody? Imagine trying to carry out your daily routines with this hanging outside your body for days or weeks on end. This is the reality of what breast cancer patients who are going through radiation treatment must go through until now. CAPTEC Solutions is the latest company to bring patient satisfaction and well-being to a whole new level. Our mission, we are striving to improve patients' lives by bringing new technological innovations in cancer treatment to the market. This is how we intend to do it. We're excited to introduce the Cox Modified Cavity Evaluation Device and the accompanying surgical kit. This is the latest breakthrough in partial radiation treatment, which is known as brachytherapy. So let me describe how our device is used. Typically, a breast cancer patient with stage 1 or stage 2 breast cancer will undergo a lumpectomy to remove the cancerous mass. Radiation therapy will then be administered to ensure complete eradication of the cancer and to reduce the risk of a reoccurrence. So once that lumpectomy has been performed, this device is inserted into the site. It ensures adequate tissue spacing and conformance and serves as a placeholder until radiation therapy can be administered. This can take days, if not weeks, depending on the time that it takes a radiation oncologist to determine the correct dose of radiation and begin treatment. So here's where we come in. We eliminate this tube. We have an innovative hub that allows us to implant this device into the site of the lumpectomy and suture it in. Now, we also offer an accompanying surgical kit to improve the insertion method. The existing technology uses this. It's a rather large trocar. Yeah. An incision is made, and this device is inserted into the breast to create a hole for that device to go into. It unnecessarily destroys healthy tissue. So our new method uses a series of dilators in a tearaway sheath. We gradually create a pathway this device will be slid into. So we preserve that healthy tissue. So the Cox Modified Cavity Evaluation Device, or CED, and the accompanying surgical kit is the latest breakthrough and improvement to brachytherapy. We cause less stress on the patient. We allow them to carry out their lives as normally as possible. They don't have to modify the way they dress, their showering habits, and they don't have to avoid certain activities as they stressfully wait for their radiation therapy to begin. Now, our product consists of common medical tools and components that are readily available to us. They're relatively cheap, so we have a very low manufacturing cost. We also have a very quick entry into the market. This is a simple modification with a serious benefit. So the breast cancer radiation market needs a more satisfying experience for the patient. We accomplish this through a streamlined, less intrusive cavity evaluation device and by improving the insertion method of that device. We answer that call with our product. We see improved patient satisfaction by eliminating the need for that tube to hang outside of the body. Our insertion method provides a safer, less damaging insertion method for that device, so we preserve that healthy tissue. There's multiple benefits here for the patient. We reduce pain, discomfort, and we effectively decrease the rate of infection because we're not leaving the open incision at that site. Now, in addition, when that surgical kit is used, we preserve healthy tissue, and in turn, we can accelerate the healing process. Now, there's also an added benefit here for the physician that uses this kit. It promotes less scarring. It will ultimately increase the end cosmetic result of that procedure. So the physician will technically get better results out of their procedure. It will make them look more viable within their practice. This is a winning technology for all parties involved, including the patient and the physician alike. So there's 4 dominant players within our field. They all use similar devices to administer brachytherapy through a balloon catheter. However, this is where we stand out. We're the only company to offer a non-protruding catheter. Our surgical kit is the only one that takes into consideration preservation of vital tissue. So when these are paired together, we effectively minimize scarring, we decrease the infection rate, and we increase the end cosmetic result. This gives the patient the confidence that she deserves as she attacks breast cancer. So our sales channel, again, our product is comprised of common medical tools and components that are readily available to us and relatively inexpensive. Our manufacturing costs can remain low and stable over that time, and our sale price is competitively set. Now, in the event that we need to become more competitive within our market, we left ourselves a bit of margin to effectively lower prices. Breast cancer is a $16.5 billion industry. It has among the highest associated costs among any other form of cancer. And unfortunately, this year alone, more than 232,000 new patients will be diagnosed with breast cancer. The numbers are staggering, and unfortunately, there is a growing market here, and our product provides more of an incentive for patients to choose brachytherapy as a process over others. The reason why we can be successful, we have a winning team. We're comprised of experiences that include medical product development and manufacturing, biomedical sciences with a focus in medical technologies, and project management. We also have a member on our team who has previously brought 2 medical devices through the startup phase and was successful in securing venture capital funding. We're the winning team for this project. So here's the good part. We are a simple modification to an existing technology. Within our first full year of sales, we are confident that we can obtain up to an 8% market share. So put our expected sales revenue at nearly $3 million. By year 5, we're confident that we can have 25% market penetration. We'll put our expected sales revenue at nearly $10.5 million. So the opportunity here is huge. Brachytherapy as radiation treatment is on the rise, and our product gives patients more of an incentive to use this. So essentially, we're going to boost the market. We have patent pending protection, and we are positioned to take advantage of this lucrative market with our competitive advantages over the existing technologies. We've also discovered an expandable market through our research. This device can be used in any other form of cancer where direct targeted radiation treatment can be delivered through balloon catheter technology. So what's in it for the investor? We offer a quick return on investment. We have a high profit margin. We have multiple exit strategies, and here they are. Our primary exit strategy is to sell the license and intellectual property to a local company. We've already had discussions with Command Medical to initialize prototype development and product manufacturing. They've indicated that after successful launch of the project, they will acquire the rights to our product for nearly 2 times the expected sales revenue in year 1. In the event this does not occur, we have 2 more options. Our second option is to initialize a market launch and sell, or we're going to lease the license and intellectual property to a leading public entity. This will allow us to obtain the greatest percentage of market share. In the event that that does not occur, our final exit strategy is to take the thing to market ourselves. We're going to distribute our own sales team and distribution channels and sell it to hospitals, clinics, or physicians alike. However, to do any of that, we need funding. $250,000 will allow us to exploit our initial exit strategy. We break it down accordingly. To carry us through the 6-month mark, we will need $125,000 to secure licensing fees and initialize the contract for prototype development. An additional round of $125,000 will be used to carry us to the end of year 1. We can complete our biocompatibility testing and secure FDA and 510 clearances. At that point, we intend to have our buyout. However, if that does not occur, we will require an additional $250,000 of funding to initialize a market launch and begin to develop our own sales team and distribution channels. So why choose CapTech Solutions? We're professional, we're proven, and we are a dedicated team. We offer multiple exit strategies, and we have a very quick return on your investment. We intend to be the hero company that allows these patients to live their lives as normally as possible as they undergo this life-saving treatment. So please join our team in our endeavor to improve patient well-being. Thank you for your time. Questions?
You mentioned that the patent is pending, so when was that issued? What year?
2008? 2006 it was issued, actually.
6?
What would you anticipate as scenarios where Command Medical would not buy you out?
Well,
The only problem there is if they
You
would,
have the microphone, can you please use the microphone?
We don't have one.
You do have?
The only thing I can see that would stop that is if they're involved with other projects and don't have the funding at the time that we would want to go ahead and sell.
Welcome next to the stage. The company is called Witch Greek. Witch Greek.
Good afternoon. My name is Mark Rapeau. I'm with Witch Creek. And behind me is an image from the movie some of you may have seen called Animal House. And for fraternities, thank you, sir. I had seen it. So for the Greek organizations, fraternities and sororities, this movie was both a blessing and a curse, a dream and a nightmare. Witch Greek, we're going to help end the nightmare and continue the dream. What is Witch Creek? We are a technology solution company that makes use of algorithms and psychographic modeling to help organizations find the perfect match for their company. And in turn, we also help people who are seeking to join an organization understand how they fit in terms of that organization's core values. So essentially, we help students make better choices about the organizations they join, and we help organizations make better choices about the people they select. In short, we're GreekMatch.com. We're a matching company. We're Match.com for Greek organizations. So who are our customers? Well, this image here really indicates who our customers are, encapsulates. In the end, we're really about 9 million people who in the last 4 years have made a decision to join a Greek organization. And they've done that and joined 14,500 Greek chapters that are located across 730 campuses here in the U.S. and really comprise of 123 national fraternity and sorority organizations in the United States. And they're governed by these three sort of umbrella organizations: the Interfraternity Council, Collegiate Panhellenic Council, and the National Panhellenic Council. So, what is the need? What are we providing? And what we're really doing is we're providing an objective way for people to evaluate people who are trying to join an organization. There's a lot of subjectivity out there in terms of opinion and what feels right, but we provide an objective mechanism for that to happen. And so what you should really know about this marketplace as well is there are really 4 things we're going to talk about. The first is there's a record level right now of Greek participation by young students. Which has put the national chapters in a bind. They can't manage the growth, and they're losing integrity and control of their organization. Second thing that's happening with that is there's an attrition rate. Attrition rates are up. Students are dropping out, and so organizations are in peril. Third piece that's happening out there is now we're in a place where Greek chapters are closing at record rates. This puts all the organizations in peril as well. How do they continue to survive and sustain their organization? So it's causing a lot of rethinking about what's going on in terms of how we're structured, how we manage, how we recruit, how do we remain sustainable as an organization. And so the good news for us is, and the final condition here is there is no technology solution in place today. We are pioneers. We're leading the way in terms of this piece and brings a software and technology solution to this problem that impacts these organizations. So, who are the competitors? They're a group, a ragtag group, quite honestly. Again, minimal technology investment, minimal technology infiltrated into this market. We have a group that really is managing data and helping schools manage data in terms of this process, but not really providing any evaluation tools. We have a couple other groups who have really bad business models. They're out charging students to sort of give them this information, and college students don't really have a lot of money. So again, hasn't been a lot of traction. There's very little traction in the marketplace. And so we really take the best of what those companies have to offer and really bring our own style into this thing. We are going to provide a license out to these organizations to help them and give them the tools they need to make great judgments about the product. about the members coming through. So what does this market look like in monetary terms? We're talking about annually, there are over $53 million sort of invested out there in this marketplace for us to go get related to our software. Most of that is invested in sort of the Greek campuses, on-campus chapters, and the national fraternity and sorority organizations. So that's who is our primary target, and there also is some opportunity to be involved in Greek-wide, campus-wide participation in terms of the rush process for that as well. So our financials. We, in the first year, really dedicated to research and development, and I'll take you through that and a little bit more, but what I wanted to show you here more specifically is kind of our market share and where we're going in terms of revenue expectations. So first year, really second year in terms of operations and sales, we have about a little close to $5 million that we're offering up, and really only getting 8% of the market that's out there available to us. We then enter a very quick and pathway to, in year 5, being a $30 million a year revenue company and capturing a little over half of the market share that's out there. So again, very quick, very fast. We're a software group, and we know we're in a marketplace where these organizations are talking to each other. So we're solving a real problem for them, and word will spread quickly in terms of what we can do to help. So what is our path to success? First of all, day one, year one, our technology needs to be updated. Our technology is 10 years old, and so it is not web-enabled and it's not mobile-enabled, which of course is key with the demographic we're talking about in terms of their interaction. We have to update our technology to do that and to be successful. Second thing we're going to do is we're going to partner with national organizations, fraternity and sorority organizations, and make them partners with us in the development of this product. Finally, we're going to have essentially 3 real products and a 4th service that we're offering as a company. We'll have a specific model for local chapters. We'll have a model for national organizations, and finally, we'll have a product for schools who want to run campus-wide orientation and recruitment of fraternities and sororities. Year 2 is about growing and selling. We're going to expand our partnerships with the national organizations that we have. We're going to tap into the umbrella groups that are running them as well. And we're continuing our constant investment in research and development. We're a technology company. We can't afford to be behind the market. We have to be with the market or ahead related to technology, or we'll fall behind. And again, because we are creating a customized algorithm and customized model, there is investment that has to be made in keeping our products fresh and making sure that we really are solving the problems for those national fraternities and sororities. And finally, in year 3, it's all really about, and beyond, it's really about us being an acquisition target. Our goal is to sell the technology out. We're gonna have great partnerships. We're gonna be solving this thing. We're gonna be creating brand evangelists in terms of our customers who've already bought it. And then finally, we have the ability to now, because we'll have millions of candidates in our system, we now have a very robust marketing database and a demographic that consumers and consumer product goods companies care about, 18 to 25. We'll have millions of people in that group, very valuable. And so we know we'll be a target for companies like Facebook, Google+, other media companies who are interested in reaching that demographic to create a long stream customer relationship with those people. So we think we're a very attractive place and a way to go. So what are we looking for? We're looking for $440,000, which is really our first 2 years of operating expense, is what we're looking for from you as investors. In return, we're offering 35% equity in our company, and that's a pretty good deal from what I've heard so far today. We have a great product. Again, software technology, very mobile, and we think will be a great acquisition piece. So I want to leave you with 4 really final points that I want you to think about as your decision in deciding that we're a great match together. One is we're a technology solution that has a market out there that is ready. We have partners. We have already talked to national fraternities and sororities. They believe in the solution, and they believe they have it, and they're ready to sign on. Year 2, we'll have projected revenues that's 10 times what we're asking you to invest. Pretty quick return on your money. And then finally, we'll have big data and a demographic that people care about. I want to thank you for your time and your attention, and we're ready to take any questions you guys might have.
Question. So you're gonna sell this to these organizations. How much is the price for any organization that wanna buy this?
So we have a different pricing structure. So if you're talking about an individual chapter, it's $2,500 for an individual chapter, and we'll build them a model that reflects their core values that they can use and evaluate candidates as they come in.
And what is in it for them?
What is in it for them? They now have an assurance about an objective tool to measure the candidates that are coming in, that the members that they're letting into their organization, that they know those members match kind of the profile and the core values that they have as an organization. Right now, you have a huge dropout rate in terms of people who are getting paired into an organization that they don't know or they don't match up with in terms of personality-wise. There may be an academic load that they don't match up with. So now we're creating a personality matches between students who are looking to join these organizations and the organizations themselves and the mission they're trying to put out forward.
I have a question. It's sort of a series of questions. Rush Week is a very short dash. So number one, how would the fraternity determine, how would they get the information on the rushies that they want to potentially rush and bid? And how do they get them to fill out the information in order for you to tell them what their personality profile is? That's number one. And number two, are you talking about taking the existing members and profiling them and then recommending to kick out some that don't fit?
We're not trying to, I'll go to the second question first. We're not trying to restructure an existing organization or fix a problem.
Thank you, everybody, for your indulgence, and we'll move on to our 9th and final presentation of the day. This company is called Dyne-A for Dynamic Alphabet. Dyne-A.
Good afternoon, and thank you. My name is Kevin Lorton, and I'm representing Team Dyna. We are the Dynamic Alphabet Phonics software company. Yes, this is our mascot, Dyna, and she has asked the judges to be a lot nicer to us than the other team. Dyna is our mascot. She has a lot to say. There's probably no better predictor of a child's future success than his or her ability to read. Sadly, 85% of the children involved in the juvenile justice system are considered functionally illiterate. Currently, the United States is ranked 15th among industrialized nations in reading proficiency. And as you can see by this chart, we haven't gotten much better. In fact, only 32% of the children that enter the 4th grade are considered proficient readers. And that is alarming. And the reason is, 4th grade is the year children transition from learning to read to reading to learn. Studies show that if a child is behind in 4th grade, they're likely to remain behind their entire academic career. Phonics. I'm sure most of us have heard about phonics. Well, phonics is just as important today as it was in 1884 when this phonics spelling was published. And there are plenty of companies that sell phonics products on the market. What makes us unique is our approach. We'll be using the dynamic alphabet developed by researchers at the University of South Florida. It's modeled on mouth movements. And if you can see by the C in the center here, for example, it maps visual cues onto animated letters. The letter in the center represents the hard C for cat. The one on the right represents the soft C for city. I'd like to play a little snippet of the actual demo that researchers used with children. Bat. And now, a couple of things you may have noticed. This was a very simple prototype. One is the little animated stick letters that move when the sounds. The second is the child's voice. What's neat about this product is the child can personalize this product with his or her own voice. Now, as simple as this product was, the results were actually pretty astounding. With kindergarten children, pre and post tested after only 4 sessions with this product, showed a 60-point increase in their DIBELS test. Now, DIBELS is a measurement of early literacy skills. We would like this product certainly to be affordable for our customers and also profitable for our investors. And we've identified 3 revenue streams that we would like to go after initially. The first is our website, which we would serve as our main training platform. Subscriptions on a monthly basis would be $7.95 and $49.95 annually. Now, this stacks up quite nicely with our competitors. The second is a no-brainer. It's a mobile app for Apple and Android devices. Now, the app would be a free download for partial content. To unlock the full app would be just 99 cents. We also will introduce a 100 lesson package for $9.99, which would be great for classroom use or for parents that want to use this with their child. Finally, our third revenue stream would be a standalone computer software package for under $80. Now, we've certainly looked at our competition, and we stack up nicely in price. Our closest competitor for website subscriptions is $20 higher than where we are. Our main competitor is Reading Eggs and Starfall. They're both online products. They offer online product and apps. Well, Dynaphonics is going to be a lean startup. We're going to work from our home offices. We're going to subcontract services as we need them. One of the most important things we're going to do actually, we're going to roll out products over time to efficiently use our resources. One of the first order of businesses, what we're going to do is seat our advisory board, and we've already had conversations with the head of curriculum for a major school district. Also, I have a very dear friend who's the head of technology and virtual schools for Pinellas County, Florida. And Pinellas County is a real leader in technology use in the classroom. And we believe our advisory board will help us as we look forward to developing a digital curriculum down the line. Of course, look at those guys. We are the arts and humanities group, you can tell. Every startup is really dependent upon its management team. Now, we have some good pros here. We've got our sales and marketing, head of sales and marketing, James Drummond, has launched products with Sony, Canon, Hitachi. Sandy Premack is our IT guy. He's worked with AT&T, IBM, and Lucent. Kathy Fontaine is our wonderful graphic designer, is a professional online game designer, which is a perfect fit for this product. Our mentor, Barry Arnett, has launched products for Gambro, and I have a background launching new product initiatives with Home Shopping Network and MediaWorks. So what are we going to do? How are we going to make money? We project that we'll be cash positive by May of 2015, but how are we going to do it? We have to sell apps. Now, we're projecting 34,000 apps. Sounds like a lot. It's actually about 1,800 apps a month. 100 packs, we're looking at about 8,500 and only about 2,100 website subscriptions. Of course, numbers are numbers. How are we going to get the numbers? Well, first thing we're going to do is we're going to go out to teachers. Free apps. Put the app in the hands of the teacher, free content. They'll use it, they like it, they talk about it, they talk it up to parents. Of course, we're going to reach out to organizations like the Florida Education Association, the International Reading Association, and others. Opinion leaders, the mommy bloggers, the women that review products and report on them to their readers. They have a big, big influence. And also, Teachers with App is a neat organization. They rate and they certify apps for educational worthiness. And of course, we'll be active on social media. We're not going to have a multi-million-dollar budget, but we will engage our community online, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. We want our customers, our community, to talk about our product and their great experiences with it. What are we asking for? We're asking for a one-time investment of $180,000 that would be repaid in the form of royalty, which I know this is different, 10% royalty on all sales through 2017. Our projections would be that that return is $354,000. So when you invest with Dyna, you're not only helping us succeed in our mission, but you'll also be doing something more important. You'll be helping ensure the future success of our most important resource, our children. Thank you.
There, the buses leave it. I used to I worked for a while for the NASCAR organization, and Mike Helton had a favorite saying. I was in several meetings with Mike Helton. If anybody's been around him, he's a wonderful man. He's extraordinarily bright, and he's really, really intense every minute of every day. Mike is just on the gas. And one of the things that he would say, which still turns my stomach, come on, we're burning daylight. So right now, we're burning daylight. That meant let's get started on time. Okay, I think I've got everybody pretty much back together again. First of all, something very important that I want to share with everybody in the room and ask for you to carry forward as you leave the room today. This has been round 1 of Startup Quest here in Volusia and Flagler County. There are 2 more rounds coming up, and they are extraordinarily important to this community, to us, and to everybody involved in Startup Quest, including the United States Department of Labor. So, round 2 of Startup Quest will begin in January of 2014, and round 3 will be wedged nicely between the beginning of school and Thanksgiving in 2014. So August will be the beginning. We will need, for the next 2 rounds, mentors. We have fantastic mentors, and I hope you'll come back, but I respectfully recognize that some of you may have other commitments at that time, and I know you will all like to come back if you can. So we need mentors, we need participants, we need judges. You will all be asked again, by the way. And we need sponsors. So as you leave here today, all of us have very powerful networks. Please keep in mind we need participants, we need mentors, we need sponsors, we need judges. We want to make the 2nd and 3rd round even better, if that's possible. Having said that, I'd like to welcome to the stage 2 very wonderful gentlemen who are a big part of Startup Quest and who will be presenting the winners and telling us about who's won. 2 presidents, Rick Frazier, the president of the Center for Business Excellence, and Randy Barrage, the president of the Florida High Tech Corridor. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, Dave.
Thank you. First of all, welcome on behalf of the Center for Business Excellence. This is a crowd that exceeded my expectations, and I'm glad you're all here. As you've heard, this is round 1. The success of round 2 and round 3 depended on round 1. So I think we've got a success. Let's give ourselves a hand. I just want to take a moment of personal privilege and ask Randy, who is a colleague and friend, to talk a little bit about the Virtual Entrepreneur Center that the High Tech Corridor Council runs. The Virtual Entrepreneur Center is a major sponsor of this event, and I want to give Randy the opportunity to say a few words.
Let me do something I'm honored to do, and I learned long ago you always thank those what brought you to the dance. So Rick has been the chair of our workforce committee at the corridor for the last 2 years, so thank you for that service. I'm honored to report we have an emeritus member of our council here in the guise of Ken Sharp. Well, I say emeritus because he's old. We have the newest member of our council, Carol Craig. Thank you, Carol, for coming on board of our council. Connie is a recipient of Carter funds. We're honored to be part of the funding process for the UCF incubator at the airport, funded in Maine by Volusia County. And Dr. Rod Casto used to run our Carter programs for us when he was laboring away at USF. So I don't know if that does something with the awards we're going to give out that are related to all these wonderful people, but thank you for your service. You also pay tribute to those who brought you to dance in terms of the Florida Virtual Entrepreneur Center. May I see, please, a show of hands of people who are aware of it, who have been on the site by way back in the back. Thank you very much. Now, I don't see very many hands go up, so here's an opportunity, if you would, to pay tribute to Kent and to Dr. Bob Williams, because it was their idea for this Virtual Entrepreneur Center. If you'll go on the site, you'll see 67 counties. Click on any one. You'll see every city, county, federal, state organization in place to help you as an entrepreneur start or grow a business. You'll see about 1,000 commercial providers of service, the wonderful attorneys, accountants, and other folks that help entrepreneurs. They're listed on the site. Doesn't cost you anything to use it. Doesn't cost the providers of service anything to use it. Last month we had 29,000 visits to the site. 20% came from out of state. Now, in addition, we have a new software we put in last month. We have identified 10% of the organizations or individuals coming on the site. So if you were in workforce or economic development or George, Chamber of Commerce activity in days of old, this information for the folks who sponsor this site is available. So thank you for letting me get that plug in. And now I'll get to give you the sheet. So we have something to do.
Well, first of all, the disclaimer, Randy and I had nothing to do with the rankings, so.
Even though we're related to most of the
Well, first, before we get to the competition, we want to, again, thank our judges. You've each been given a little token of appreciation, very little, considering the time we gave up, so let's give our judges a hand. These are very, very busy people, but they're also people who are concerned with the economic prosperity of our community, and that means they're willing to give up their time to be here and spend the afternoon and help us with this important competition. So thank you all. Then the next group we want to mention is our mentors. I'm not sure how many are still here, but we also have some tokens of appreciation for our mentors. So if your mentors would want to come up to the stage here and accept a little token of our appreciation, let's give them a hand.
Anybody that would like to get a picture, we're going to ask the mentors to go on stage, so if you've got a camera, please get ready. We'll do a quick picture. These gentlemen gave up 10 weeks of their lives as well, every Tuesday afternoon, and quite a lot of time outside of class time, meeting with their teams, guiding their teams, answering questions, being there in the middle of the night. A fantastic gift that's been given to all this community.
Guys, look here. Everyone?
Yes.
Thank you.
Everybody smile. Okay. All right.
Thank you. Okay, now we're going to get to the apex of our day today. But before we get to that, those of you who were here for the presentations, again, exceeded any expectation that I had. I think this was a fantastic day, and let's give our teams another round of applause. You all did fantastic. Whenever it gets down to awarding first, second, and third place, it's a tough job, and I'm sure the judges would agree. You had a tough time evaluating these presentations, so congratulations to all of you.
Third place.
Third place. You guys ready? By the way, this was not rehearsed, so we're fumbling through this.
What would be the first clear?
Okay, third place. Team 9, Dine. If I recall, they identify themselves as the education team here. Randy's got some kind of pseudo checks that we'd like to.
Pseudo checks? First time in 17 years. There will be a live check to follow.
Yeah, we've got this for photographic purposes, but each of these team members will get $150 for their participation in this event. It's hoped that this money will help them continue to pursue their presentation. We also have over here on the table some additional kind of in-kind services that have been donated by community sources that will also help them continue to go if they so choose. So thanks again, third place team. Okay, second place, Team 6, Cath Tech Solutions.
As Cath Tech comes to the stage, if you'll indulge me, I want to share just a little bit about the way these awards work. What an amazing team. These folks had a little bit of attrition as things went along. Things naturally happen in life, and their team shrunk and shrunk and shrunk. The way this money works is this. Some very fantastic sponsors, one of which is on the stage with us, made available funds. The way that Lou and I created these initial checks was based on a team of 7. So for this second place winning team, at 7 times 3 is $2,100. How is that going to be divided? When that gets redivided, they get a lot more reward. And let me tell you, they put in some extraordinary work. In addition, they'll have a series of in-kind prizes. They've got a new filing cabinet, and there's some wonderful business development pieces in there.
Why your mentor at dinner with that?
Yeah, there are included the in-kind stuff is things like a certain number of hours for legal services and accounting services and so forth that are all in-kind donations. So.
Small guys?
Congratulations. Good job. Okay, do we have a drum roll, Lou? Did you forget the drum or what? Oh, good. The participants are doing the drum roll for us. Okay, first place, Team 5, Syntech Diagnostics. While they're coming up again, I want to let all the teams know how impressed I was with your effort, and hopefully you'll continue to pursue those dreams that you had and find some investors, and that would be super.
Thank you so much.
And each one of these winning members will get a check for $500. Now, although we can't hold you to it, remember we hope you invest that money somehow and continue your pursuit of your idea. So, congratulations again.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay, Dave, if you want to take it back, Dave? Sure. Thank you again to everyone in this room for participating, whether you're a judge, a mentor, a participant in Startup Quest, or if you're just a member of our community here to see what this is all about. I'll echo what Dave said earlier. Round 2 is coming and followed shortly after by round 3. Please help us continue this momentum going forward and be part of this in the next 2 rounds. Thanks again for being here.
All right, everybody, thank you so much. We're done. You've enriched this community by being here today. We look forward to seeing you back here again in some form for Startup Quest in January. Enjoy at the back of the room. I will be at the bar.
Nice meeting you. I want to come down and visit your establishment one of these days. Flagler County.
Yeah.